Liverpool versus Arsenal. And I tell you, even though this match is huge, I am naively positive for a good result in this match. And let me unpack why I think that is. Now, let's start with the facts here, and that is that Arsenal have been playing some fantastic football. They're flying at the moment, and they haven't lost at home for a while. They've been looking very, very convincing when playing at the Emirates. And Liverpool, on paper, they do look like the underdogs coming into this match. But Dominic Szoboszlai put it in such a fantastic fashion. And I think that's what's got me naively positive. He reminded us that it is in actual fact Arsenal who are playing the champions. And I think that we tend to forget that as supporters and fans of Liverpool, that this is in actual fact the current champions of the English Premier League. And it is Arsenal who are the contenders for this match. And that means a lot. It means a lot for the mentality of this match, coming into this match, going head to head. And we know over the last couple of years, it's been a very contentious one. And there's been a big rivalry between Liverpool and Arsenal because both teams have been playing some fantastic football. I think Arsenal's undoing last season was the fact that they didn't have someone up front who could actually finish off and score some goals. It seems they've solved for some of that this season. Liverpool, of course, last season were flying, doing everything right. And a lot of the talent who got all of that right in last season has now departed. And Liverpool's got a new team in there, a couple of new players, new ways of playing, strategies and tactics that are still being learned. We haven't seen the best of this Liverpool team yet, but we have seen glimpses of what it could look like. And if Liverpool start to click, especially in this match, we saw glimpses against Fulham. If we start to click a little better and we see some of the good moments that we saw against Fulham in this match, Liverpool could actually give Arsenal a serious run for their money. Now, I have said that Liverpool and Arsenal have been big contenders or rivals in the last couple of seasons. Now, I know it's nothing like the rivalry that Arsenal used to have with Manchester United, and I think that was specifically more the managers. It was always Alex Ferguson versus Arsene Wenger. Here, I think it's all about dominance of the team, and in recent time, Liverpool have been performing better than Arsenal have. Head to head, if we look at those stats, Liverpool have been doing better. And so that the fact that Liverpool are champions are big mentally going into this match. Now, I've also mentioned that Liverpool have a couple of new players in there, but they've also got a couple of seasoned players in there. And we saw when Liverpool played Arsenal at Anfield, one of the seasoned players, Dominic Szoboszlai, stepped up in a major way to break the deadlock. Now, Liverpool weren't convincing in that match at all, whatsoever. There you could see it was teething problems all the way. Liverpool are still suffering from some of that, but I think that they are performing just slightly better in certain aspects of the game. Now, if they could do more of that and they can really utilize a player like Dominic Szoboszlai in what he said, that mental game, and also in how he performs, then Liverpool just might nick this one. If they can score a goal nice and early, if they can be disciplined in the midfield, and if they allow the back line to do what the back line needs to do so that the midfield can pick up the second ball whenever it needs to, then Liverpool can actually control this game. And that's what they need. They're going to need to be disciplined when playing Arsenal. Now, Arsenal are going to want chaos because they've seen what happens if teams become chaotic in certain senses against Liverpool. And Liverpool then starts looking disorganized, midfield collapsing onto the back line, and all of a sudden the opposition team is able to attack with fewer players than Liverpool is trying to defend with. We shouldn't allow that to happen in this match. If Liverpool stay compact, if they stay disciplined, then they'll get the result. And why am I naively positive? Number one, I believe that Liverpool have the mental edge over Arsenal. I think Arsenal are very careful not to fumble because that's been their undoing over a number of seasons. They were their own enemy. They were their own worst enemy. And they are going to be as cautious as they can playing against the current champions. Because I tell you now, another thing that will be playing on their minds is they are currently 14 points ahead of a struggling Liverpool team, a team that hasn't looked convincing this season. And yet and still, they are only 14 points ahead. If Liverpool nick this one and they win it, all of a sudden the margin becomes 11 points. And that means if Arsenal then go ahead and draw another couple of matches, or they start fumbling and they start losing matches, it could take Liverpool 4 to 5 matches to catch up and take the top spot. Now, I'm not ignorant. There are two teams between Liverpool and Arsenal that Liverpool also need to surpass and that are also looking to pounce on the top spot. But I'm purely looking at this from a Liverpool-Arsenal perspective. And that 14-point gap, if Arsenal slip up, becomes 11 points, Liverpool sniff blood, they start playing better, things start clicking, and this could be a turnaround in this season. We spoke about the Arne Slot naysayers over the last couple of days, and people saying, because managers have been fired at other clubs, perhaps it's time that Liverpool start doing the same. We've been hearing those echo chambers. I'm not as emotional as that. I'm not as irrational as that. I want to be as logical as possible. And firing a manager in the middle of the season during a transition is extremely, extremely bad. You are not going to get a new manager to come in and fix everything overnight. It's not going to happen. Our best bet is to keep Arne Slot there. And I'm not saying he is without his flaws and without his mistakes. There are some of the changes that I have been finding questionable. Some of the team selection. Why isn't he playing Chiesa as much as he possibly could? Those are questions that I think we deserve answers for. But by saying Slot out is not going to help. What we need is a team that is disciplined on the field, a team that doesn't show fear. When we see them implementing Arne Slot's strategy, Liverpool look fantastic. They look good and they look dangerous. When we see they start doing things that is not part of that strategy, midfield collapsing back on the back line, that is when things start looking extremely, extremely worrisome. But I think Liverpool will have enough in the tank to take this one. Am I nervous? Yes. Yes, I am. Am I hopeful? Naively so? Definitely. I think Liverpool can go ahead and shock everyone, especially the Arne Slot naysayers. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget, hit a like on this. Hit that subscribe button. We are on our way to 100 subscribers by the end of January. Will I be able to make it? Well, you and I can. And I just know you will never walk alone. Let's go, Reds. Let's get this one. Always.